What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. We've got another very fun cash game here going on this trip. Behind me is the Aria Poker Room. We're playing the Table 1 game. I'm also going to be hopping on their podcast sometime soon, so maybe I'll include a few clips of that. But we're playing 25.50 today. Going to buy in for 25,000. Road to a Million challenge. We're back playing some more cash. So good luck us. This is actually part 1 of the day. I'm actually very excited for the second part of this day after this game. So going to play for a few hours, see how it goes, spin it up, and good luck us. Unbeknownst to me, we're actually playing 100-100 with a $100 ante. Much bigger than 25.50, but hey, I'm not one to complain about the size of the game getting bigger. So, buying in for $25,000, we are here to battle with King-Queen offsuit on the button. The cutoff raises it up to $300. I decided to 3-bet this one to $1,200. Definitely can go either way with a call or raise, and my opponent makes the call. So off to a flop of 10-8-6-2 diamonds here. My opponent checks to me, and I feel like a half pot bet-ish seems to be good, I think. Maybe? I'm kind of guessing here, but with the diamond, let's go for it. I bet 1,200. My opponent makes the call. The turn is the 4 of diamonds, completing the flush. He checks, and I'm going to keep repping like I have a strong hand or a flush. And I fire 3,000 and immediately get a fold, which is lovely news, starting off the first hand of the day with a win. Next, with Jack 10 of diamonds on the button, the hijack raises to 300, cutoff makes the call, and let's 3-bet this one as well. I decided to get spicy and make it $1,400. And this is one of the issues when you get spicy with mediocre hands. The hijack 4-bets me to 3,600. Well, I'm in position, and I guess some cards that could see a flop. I don't know. Let's gamble. Let's see something good. We make the call. Flop comes King 8-3 with 2 clubs. My opponent bets $2,000, and right off the rip, I am folding, losing a 4-bet pot, man. These are pretty tough and big. I mean, we're at over $7,000 in the middle, and just to fold right here on the flop, not seeing anything good, is a little painful, but right back where we started, losing all the money again. Very next shuffle, I pick up Queen Jack of diamonds in the cutoff. There's an early position raised to 300. I am very 3-bet happy, and I make it 1,200. Big blind makes the call for 1,200, and the early position player called as well. So we're gonna go to a flop 3 ways of 10-7-5, 2 clubs. Action checks to me here, and I definitely can see merit for betting. I've got 2 overcards, some backdoor straight draws, a lot of possibilities, but I opted to just chill out and check this one back. When the turn comes a 4, well, the big blind player fires out 1,000. Early position player makes the call, and with Queen Jack, like, I don't know, maybe I could hit a pair, maybe it could be good. I feel a little priced in to see what could develop, so I flick in 1,000 as well, and we're gonna go 3 ways to a river, which comes a 6. Now officially, not my board. Big blind checks. Early position player fires out $4,000 here, and I'm gonna have to fold and let this one go. So 2 straight hands back to back. It's been a pretty painful couple minutes, losing about $6,000 in the last 2 hands I just went over. Time to rebound, and with no better hand to do it than pocket kings. There we go. We got a premium in the big blind. The early position player raises to 300. I make it 1,500, and my opponent makes the call. Flop comes King 4-5, 2 clubs. That's right, top sets. And I decided to play a little sneaky and check it over to my opponent here because, well, I kind of just block everything that's really strong. Anyways, he checks this one back. When the turn comes the Jack of diamonds. 2 flush draws on the board now, so let's try to get some money in. I bet $3,000 and he snap folds. But hey, at least there's some morale to be had here. I stopped the bleeding and the losing streak by flopping top set. Everyone watching this video, you've got 1 more week to enter into the drawing to win this Wimbledon Rolex with the Jubilee dial. I'm giving it away in literally 7 days on December 16th, announcing the winner via random drawing, random raffle. I want as many people to participate in this giveaway as much as possible because this is up for grabs, no purchase required. Just click the link in the description below, enter your information, and make an account with Club WPT Gold using the code Rampage, and you get auto-entered into this drawing. I want everyone to have a chance to win this. Thank you for all the support in the videos, and I get a chance to give this away. And it's worth $12,000, so not a small giveaway by any means. So hoping to give this one to one lucky person who watches this video. It's getting given away in 7 days, and I want you to be part of it. So click the link in the description below and get signed up. We're downgrading our hand, but hey, still not going to complain with pocket queens on the button. There's a low jack raised to 200, cut off 3 bets to 800, and I actually end up misclicking and 4 bet to 1,400. all by accident, of course. I tried to make it 2,400 actually, but I accidentally just made it 1,400. Anyways, a little distracted here as I'm recording for the vlog, but the low jack folds and the cutoff ends up making the call. So we're going to go to a flop of ace 4-4 rainbow. My opponent checks to me here. Seeing an ace on the board is never super comfortable here when I have pocket queens, so I decided to fire a small bet of $300, see what my opponent could do, and with this 300 he makes the call. The turn comes a 10, bringing in a backdoor flush draw. My opponent checks once again and definitely can see merit for betting here, but I decided to check this one because I've just got queens and I kind of want to get the showdown now. But when the river comes another ace of hearts, brings in that backdoor flush draw, my opponent fires out 600, another extremely small bet, and maybe I could actually get called by worse here. My opponent could have jacks. He could have 10s, which would beat me for a full house. I don't want him to have 10s, actually. He could have 9s at some frequency, and, well, I've got queens, so I beat some hands. I obviously lose to some very strong hands, like an ace. I decided to raise it up to 4,000. I mean, given how the hand has played out, like, it seems difficult for my hand to be beat. Doesn't seem like he's playing like he has an ace very often, and he goes into the tank for a long time, which is usually a good sign that I do have the best hand. And ultimately he ends up folding, so no more value for me. But we talk shortly later and he tells me he had pocket kings. Oh my goodness, I might be the worst poker player ever. I was value raising my queens. Little did I know I actually got a better hand to fold. So, guys, I really need some coaching or some help with this poker thing. What am I doing? Next, I'm in the $200 straddle. There's an ungun raise to 400, a 4K stack. With queens here picking it up a premium, I raise it up to 1,400, and my opponent goes all in for roughly $5,000. It's only 25 big blinds given the $200 straddle, so obviously I make the call, showing my hand pocket queens, and we're gonna go run it twice. Flopping, we got top set on the first run out. Pretty sure we've got that board locked up entirely. Second one, with flop comes ace, ace, king. Not super comfortable here winning the second one, but luckily no worries as I end up scooping the pot. So it's nice to be back on the right trajectory with pocket queens, winning another one, this time stacking my opponent. Little insight about the game. The 7 deuce game is on, and it pays out $300 per person at the table. So with a $200 straddle on, there's a hijack raised to 400. He has about $4,500 in his stack, and action folds to me in the small blind with 7 deuce off. The hijack has about 25 big blinds. The big blind has about the same, so I say YOLO. I think it's worth the gamble here, and I also could win about $2,400 on the side. So I'm all in. There's a lot of table talk. He wants me to show a card, but I definitely have to stack shame him into a fold, please. And it works. I ended up shaming him into a fold, and luckily, show the 7 deuce, collect my bounties, and the momentum is rolling here. I was down 7,000 a few minutes ago, a few hands ago, and now I'm up on the session, especially after winning this 7 deuce bounty. That was huge. Next, with queen 6 of spades, I'm in the $200 straddle again, and there's a hijack raised to $1,000. I say, why not see a flop for $1,000? And we're going to a flop of 9-8 deuce 2 spades. Sounds like a pretty good investment here on this flop. I check it to my opponent, and he fires out $2,000. And why not? Of course, let's make the call. We've got a flush draw, and we want to see something good, like the ace of spades on the turn. Yeah, that feels good to just immediately get there. I check it to my opponent, and he fires out $3,000. Definitely have the option to be check raising here a lot of the time, and you know, I decided to just slow play this one. My opponent's very capable of bluffing, and maybe he can bluff the river. We're off to a river, which comes a 6, doesn't change the board. Action sadly goes check, check, so no more value for me here as I scoop up the pot with a flush, but winning a couple $1,000 along the way. This next hand is madness. The button goes all in for about $2,400. I make the call as I'm on the $200 straddle with pocket 4s. We're going to run it one time, and my opponent says that he's only looked at one card, which is a king. Let's see what the run out comes. I end up smashing a 4. The turn brings a little bit of a sweat, but as I boat up on the river, my opponent is drawing pretty dead when he only shows a king. The other card is pretty irrelevant and very, very nice to win another big pot. Speaking of big pots, the hijack raises the 300, cutoff makes the call, and I've got 10s in the small blind. I decide to 3-bet this one to $1,500. Everyone folds to the hijack player original opener, and he's all in for 5K. All right, once again, I'm just not going to be folding, I guess. There's not many folds to be happening at this game. It's a very, very fun dynamic, and I make the call, and we agree to run it twice. He ends up making quad kings on the first run out, which is pretty insane. But now on the second one, I need to find a 10 of some sort, and no. Sadly, do not improve versus his pocket kings, and I lose a solid $10,000 pot here. We're just gambling really hard now. Got a pair, I'm all in, and I lose a 10K pot. With the night winding down, we've got one of the more interesting hands to talk about tonight. With 6-7 of diamonds in the small blind, there's two players who limp in, and the cutoff raises to 600. I decided to make the call here, didn't want to 3-bet necessarily, given I'm out of position against so many players. I make the call, and one of the other limpers call as well. Off to a flop of Jack 3-3-2 diamonds, flopping the flush draw and I guess some pair opportunities. No one puts a single dollar in the middle as it checks through. Now the turn comes a 9, and I think here definitely a good spot for me to start betting, start bluffing. I've got 7 high in a dream, and I bet out $1,500. The original limper gets out of the way and folds, but the cutoff comes along and is pretty sticky for a call. Not really putting my opponent on a whole lot here at this point, but on the river comes a deuce, comes a complete brick, and I've got to make him fold a lot of hands. Why not throw $5,000 in the middle? Now, onto the cutoff opponent, Paul, who is in the tank, certainly puts on a really good show and says he doesn't really have a whole lot to call with, but he really doesn't believe me. Then shows ace, queen, high, face up. Oh my goodness, it's been multiple minutes of being in the tank so far, and he wants a hero call ace high. Come on, you crazy person. Just let it go. Believe I have a jack. Believe I have anything strong. And then he does not believe and ends up making a great call. Nice hand to Paul. I just throw my cards in the muck, of course. What can I do with 7 high? And he soul reads me. Ace high is going to win a pretty big pot here. And here we go. Gotta give kudos to my opponents. He played well and made a really good decision. Cashed out, and we are now onto part number 2 of today, which is going to actually be playing a charity poker event. I guess we'll go over the numbers. Actually, I forgot about that. It's nice to finally book like a win. Obviously, I ran pretty good, picked up a lot of premium hands. In the game for 25,000, out of it for 41.5. So nice, modest win, and finally, entering like playing high stakes again, playing 100. It's good to book a win and steadily climbing from that like bloodbath of a hustler session. But today here, I'm right behind this place called Hattie Marie's, and it's a barbecue place. But I'm playing a charity poker tournament. A couple days ago, real time here, I posted a Substack or an article talking about doing more for community, doing more for contributing to, I guess, society, and trying to find more purpose in life, and trying to consciously make that effort and do it today here, joining a charity poker tournament. So hopping in here, I don't know how much I'm going to film, but it should be a very fun atmosphere. A lot of just good times playing poker for a good cause. A lot of the money is going to go to charity, and it's helping out Brandon Marshall's charity, which is, I think, helping kids turn into enforcement and stuff. So we're gonna hop in and see how much I can film of this experience, but it should be overall a very fun time. I'm excited for it. Upon walking in, I see the entire restaurant has been transformed to host this charity tournament, and the place is packed. I make myself comfortable with a tequila soda and get sat down with Super Bowl 50 winner and the host of the event, Brandon Marshall himself. The action gets quickly underway as I'm all in here with pocket jacks on a 9-deuce-deuce flop, and I jam into my buddy and tattoo legend, Joey Hamilton. He ends up making the call with king 9, and I double up here versus pair of 9s. But what's cool is that he was actually a bounty in this tournament. So stacking him comes with a $100 certificate that he donated from his tattoo shop called Revolt Tattoos. Comment down below what ideas you guys have for me. I don't have a tattoo yet, but maybe things may change. Okay, update. I'm not supposed to be in here, but I have a bounty, and I have a lot of freaking chips at the nearing the first break. Super freaking loud, but I have too many chips for what I'm supposed to be doing, which is just a punt. But here we go. I'm sun running, and it's a very fun atmosphere here. Next, we look down at kings, and I'm all in against Chad Holloway, who does great work for Poker News. He has ace-king, and that does not end up improving, so my sun run continues with a massive stack. The kid that invited me. Hello.
Root for you. Come on.
Somehow.
Let's get your upswing.
FD bound. Made the money.
To the million is on the road. I'm telling you right now. This is the
one charity event at a time.
one time.
$1 million incoming. Everyone's screwed now. Okay, it's a little loud, but behind me is the final table. There's 10 people left. We're technically in the money. The money is something like 300 CSOP cash and other prizes. But Mark's in this, so let's go. It'll be a very fun FT short stack, but we're in the final table and we made the money. These charity events are quite a turbo, so be prepared for a lot of all-ins. I pick up ace-10 offsuit, all-in for about 5 big blinds. Cutoff calls, small blind calls too, and we're up against ace-4 and queen-jack. 3-way all-in to start off this final table, and I end up basically tripling up. The ace-4 opponent gets knocked out, and there's 9 players left. Then there's an under-the-gun jam for 5 big blinds. Folds to me, and I'm closing the action. I peel the cards one at a time and see a premium pocket 9s. And that is going to win and hold. KO another opponent. GG's to my buddy Mark, who is the opponent of this hand. And then the next clip is super funny, guys. The cutoff goes all in for 3 big blinds. I'm in the big blind again. I peel an ace for the first card. Of course, I'm calling here, and I don't even know what the other card behind is. Bad news, we're up against my opponent's ace-queen, and the suspense fills. What is my other card? The dealer takes it and shows a king! Oh my goodness, what a dirty way to win this hand. I'm knocking out players left and right, and suddenly I found myself being the chip leader of this tournament. With 6 players left, I jam ace-jack and get quickly called by ace-5 with a shorter stack. Once again, sun running really hard here as I win another all-in and knocking out the 4th person of this final table. 5 players remain and quickly turns into 4 as Joey gets knocked out, unfortunately missing a huge draw with ace-queen. Then that's followed by another hand. I've got pocket 8s against king 9. Who would have thought? I, of course, win another flip and all in. I knock out the 5th player of this final table, and we're down to the final 3. And now it's time to try my best to win this, but no better way to do it than pocket aces, right? I'm up against pocket 9s, and it's really just not fair at this point when I flop an ace. And officially, after this hand, we are heads up of the tournament. And after about 20 minutes of play, I'm all in, with queen 10 covering my opponent's ace deuce. For the entire tournament, let's sweat this run out.
Deuce of spades in the window, 6-4 deuce ring flop. Vince still in the lead. Vince is going to need an ace or a deuce to stay alive, otherwise he is going to be our champion. Rivers are 4. Ethan comes and shifts his
I spike the queen and fade the river and win the charity poker event. We take some winner photos, and what a great time to have my first win in 2024. First time I ever get to win a tournament here. And big shout out to CSOP and of course Brandon Marshall for hosting this event. I'm very, very happy to support his leadership program and looking forward to coming to more of these fun events. It's always for a good cause and a great time. So if you want to know the numbers, I actually bought in for $400 and I'm very happy to walk away with $2,500 for first place. What a wild way to end the day. I end up winning $2,500. I get a medal. I get the Brandon Marshall signed picture for making the FT. Big shout out to Brandon Marshall and CSOP for putting this on. Obviously, like, I just wanted to show up and show my support and like donate for a good cause, and now I end up making money, which was not the original plan. But first tournament win of the year comes in a nice charity event, but always a good time. Thanks for watching. What a weird freaking end to the day. I literally wouldn't have imagined it, but thanks for sticking into the end. Win money in cash, and then win a nice charity event. See you guys next time.